Heyo everybody, Haku finally here with my Tower of God Chapter 450, or Season 3 Episode 33 review. Sorry this one is so late, just now getting into it on Saturday? Yeah, super sorry about that it took me forever to get to. But either way, yeah, let's talk about this one. I really liked it once again. It wasn't as good as some of the recent ones have been, but still quite good. I love in my reaction and watching other people's reactions, basically everyone I watched, or me included, were like, I don't care about Gado's motivations. I don't care about Gado that much. But either way, there were a lot of things other than Gado that were great. So to start out, we had an immediate open, no little flashbacky things before the title sequence. Gado lost his leg, as we saw, and yet he still kicks Kanzone's lame ass off of himself. So Kanzone, Yama told him, hey, I'm making Jordan second in command if you can't be the one to take down Gado. So Jordan should be the second command because Kanzone wasn't able to. But Kanzone is such a disappointment. Kanzone freaking supposedly the third strongest of the K9 people, and yet catches L after L. Gado kicked his ass. Kanzone absorbed his daughter's life force to come out here and live a life of mediocrity. Like, man, Kanzone just... he was not it. He was not it. Jordan, though, Jordan is the GOAT. Jordan, on the other hand, has been great all arc, has been catching W's all arc, and even was the one who was able to hold back Gado while Bomb saved Doom, when Kanzone wasn't. So, yeah, Jordan's the GOAT. Make him second in command. He deserves it. But Bomb appeals to Doom via their common enemy. You hate Zahard and the 10 families. I hate Zahard and the 10 families. Looks like we can be friends. And then he also somehow cures him. We don't really know how. And it was sort of purposeful on CU to be that way. Like, yeah, breaking spells is a really complicated thing, but Bomb can just do it. And I wanted to make it seem like it was a simple thing because Bomb doesn't understand how he can do it. So I'm kind of in two minds about that. On the one hand, I kind of like that it's one of those things where to Bomb, he doesn't know how to do it, so it seems simple to him, which means that in the future, there might be something important with that. There might be some deep and detailed explanation that we'll get that explains all of it. So because of that, that can be pretty good. On the other hand, it would have also been cool if Bomb couldn't do it, and it put us in sort of a Hunter x Hunter situation where there are just certain people that can dispel or exorcise curses, and so we would need one of these certain people to be a part of the team that can dispel or exorcise curses, rather than just having everything on Bomb. But yeah, either way, it has potential to work out well either way. But Gado then Gado talks some shit, but his motivations still suck. Like, it's just one of those things where he could have tried to change the K9 people peacefully without betraying them and doing all this, or he could have just decided, you know what, I'm going to leave the K9 people and live with Louis as my son on my own, or live with Louis with the K9 people and just accept that he's going to be kind of getting shit from people for not being that strong. Like, there's a lot of things he could have done that don't involve betraying everybody and kind of being a bad guy. But he finally gets killed by Doom, which puts me in a weird place because I never thought I'd be cheering for Doom to kill Gado. But before his death, tells Bomb that Ding Dang's heart is in Louis, something that we as readers already knew. And then Louis finds Ding Dang somehow, so Louis left that ongoing fight with, like, White and all those others on a suspended ship, and somehow found Ding Dang, whose body I thought was supposed to be with the purple hair guy, but I guess now was just hanging out in some rubble somewhere. They just have his body lying around. Now, to be fair, I don't care that much about Ding Dang or Louis' characters. I talked about that in previous reviews of being like so many arcs. I'm like, I hope this character continues in the story, or I hope this character continues. And I think we're going to get that for some of these. Like, I think it can be compared to, I think Yama, Jordan, characters like that will be kind of comparable to some characters in One Piece, where like the Straw Hats will make some allies at a certain island, and then they'll go off to go do their next thing, and maybe those allies will show up at some time in the future doing their own thing. I think that Bomb's just going to make friends with the Canine people, Doom, Yama, Jordan, and then Bomb's group's going to move on, do whatever they're doing in the story next, and Yama, Jordan, the Canine people in general, will show up later on when needed after this arc. So I think it can be compared to that kind of, is how I think things will end up with the Canine people here. I don't think they're going to necessarily directly travel with Bomb. Ding Ding and or Louie, if they survive, could. But for me, I feel like the heart should stay with Louie, and I feel like maybe a good way to explain it is like, Louie has had that heart, like, basically his whole life. Ding Ding has had Doom's heart basically his whole life. If hearts are that easy to give and take, they could probably just take some other heart and put it in Ding Ding. But if a heart contains the experiences of that person, then putting Louie's heart in Ding Ding wouldn't really be that fair. I think it would be better to show that one of the reasons that Doom trusted Bomb is maybe Doom just has a bit of Ding Ding's feelings or memories because of his heart being the one that was in Ding Ding. So we don't need to bring Ding Ding back to life. All we have to do is say, Ding Ding is Doom now. Doom is Doom, but he also now has Ding Ding's memories and feelings. So, yeah, it's as simple as that, I think, because it was the heart that was in Ding Ding. They both have the same heart, and now that heart is in Doom. So I kind of like that explanation. Yeah, I kind of don't want to bring Ding Ding back to life. I kind of just want to have Doom be Ding Ding at this point. But also not stop being Doom, obviously. But you get what I mean. So yeah, it's kind of where I'm feeling. Also, for like Bomb, Louie staying alive should also... It seems like they're trying to make Bomb make this choice like, oh, should Louie live or should Ding Ding live? When the obvious choice kind of seems like it should be Louie either way. But either way, we have Yama yelling at Kal Rahim, which was funny. Kal Rahim might actually be the she that I thought Kal Rahim was a guy at first, but might actually be the she that Kelhelm was mentioning, or that could just be a translation issue. But I say that because in the flashback where Kelhelm said that, that chair looks like the same chair that Kal Rahim was sitting in. However, there could just be multiple chairs like that, because we know that there are multiple different segments of the wall throughout the tower, so they could just be a person in a chair at a different segment than the segment that Kal Rahim is in. But either way, and I love Yama's reaction to the one guy. Well, first this conversation, Yama's like, oh, I'm just leaving. The guy's like, okay, the guy's like, hey, what are you doing here? You shouldn't be here. Yama's like, I'm just leaving. The guy's like, okay, you should leave. But first we need to run some background checks on you. It's like, didn't you just tell him to get out of here? And now you're like, no, you have to stay first, then get out of here. But he tells him that, and Yama's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he mentions Zahard's army, and Yama's like, did you just say Zahard's army? I loved Yama's reaction to that. I thought that was really funny. Sorry, my headset feels like it's sliding and slipping off my head. So I thought that was funny. We get to see Tu-Ra, who is he is not Tu-Ra. He is the lamest ranker that we have seen so far. He's forced to be Yasracha's crier. Yasracha's like, smells like dog in here. And then we have debut of tired Calavan. Calavan with the longer hair, kind of some bags under his eyes, it looks like. Calavan just looking sick of this shit. And I love that I can feel the essence of Meathead radiate off of him. Because Calavan's whole thing is like, I'll just be super strong and punch everything. And if I can punch and destroy everything, or everything that gets in Yama's way, then Yama can be king and rule over everything. So I like that he sees this wall and he's like, coexistence isn't good for Zahard's reign. I'm just gonna punch it. So I just love that he's just so against this wall because he's like, coexistence, I want to punch this. Just essence of Meathead coming through. I love it. So yeah, theory time. Something I was thinking about after reading this and going into the blog is that one of the reasons, and it was something I had thought of even kind of before this, but one of the reasons that the sort of brothers, Doom and Yama, might hate the Ten Families could be what explains, because we got in canon, way back at the workshop battle, we were told about the blood fusion stuff. And I was like, it feels like they're just dropping that, which disappoints me, that they're dropping that kind of thing, and they've sort of retconned it into canine people. But there might be a way to salvage this from being a full retcon. They could honestly say that the Ten Families, and the reason they hate the Ten Families, maybe particularly the Lopobia, are because the Ten Families are the ones that did the blood fusion, and the blood fusion is what created the original 3 canine people. And then Doom, of course, lent his powers to create the rest. So maybe Yama, Doom, and Paul are made from blood fusion. Maybe the Lopobia were like, hey, let's fuse our blood with the blood of other Ten Families, and maybe Yama's super durable and stuff because he has some Ha family in him. Or maybe Paul's of the dead kind of stuff could somewhat be related to White's of the dead type stuff. Who knows? It's really a stretch, honestly, but I think it'd be a good way to explain how blood fusion is actually a thing, and also to explain why the canine people are so special. Because we see that they're special, but we haven't really got an explanation for it yet. So that could be a good explanation for it. Some blog post stuff I already mentioned, so you said that undoing spells is pretty difficult, but he just had Bomb kind of do it easily. Because Bomb doesn't understand how it works, and he's just able to do it. So for me, I at least think that that's leading to it being something in the future where there is an actual explanation to it, that we're just seeing it done so easily here because we don't have that explanation yet. And one day it'll be explained why it's so easy for Bomb. Also, something in the blog, Calivan still seems to be a squadron commander, because CU mentions, wow, this is going to be really interesting, 2 squadron commanders getting involved in the arc. So, yeah, I guess that means that Calivan does still retain his rank. Some people were thinking that the chain scale things around him might be some sort of punishment, but I thought that the chain scale things were like Rock Lee's weights, basically. I thought he was like just training. They were just some way of restraining himself and holding himself back so he could train, was my theory on Calivan's kind of scale chain kind of things. But yeah, for me personally, I'm really excited to see more of Yama and Yasracha and Calivan, that stuff. And I'm also really excited to see more of what's going on back at the cage with like Kelhelm, Evankel, Karaka, Yuan Sung, Death Lady, all of those characters. So yeah, I'm excited for all that. I think Doom could be a very cool ally. If we do go the route of Doom being sort of having Dang Dang's heart now and sort of having some of Dang Dang's feelings, or just being an ally where he's like, I still don't want to treat people properly, but Yama's keeping me in check, but I will work with you because we have a common enemy. I like that. I like the dynamic of the bad guy being like, I'll work with you because we have a common enemy, and just add into that the extra layer of like Doom not really being a good guy, but Yama basically forcing him to stay in line. So yeah, I think that could be good. But either way, for this chapter itself, I'll give it 8 essences of tired out of 10, because I'm feeling it, Calivan's feeling it, essence of tired season. So yeah, 8 out of 10. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. If you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this chapter, what you thought of my thoughts on it and all that. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. I can try to keep you updated on stuff for the channel or talk to you there. If you'd like a link to our Discord server to talk to me or more of us on Discord, then just ask and I can give you a link. Yeah, and if you want to help support the channel on Patreon so I can keep making these videos week to week, then yeah, patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. But yeah, that would super duper help out as well. Thank you so much for watching though, and I'll see you all next time.